What's going on, guys? This is Intermission. I'm Chandler Carson. With me is Tye Richardson, and we're going to talk about the Western Conference playoffs so far. Tye, give me your biggest surprise so far in the Western Conference playoffs.
I would honestly, now that thinking about it a little more, I would say the Portland Trailblazers they're up 2-0 on the Rockets. Even though Dwight Howard has had great games, but James Harden is nowhere to be found like these 2012 finals. I'm repping my Thunder shirt today, but it was embarrassing not to be able to see him in the 2012 finals. Damian Lillard, monster games, but like you think, LaMarcus Aldridge, best big man in the NBA, I wouldn't argue that right now the way he's been playing. 43 and 46 first game, 43 second game. Unbelievable numbers. 13 rebounds. I think he had 18 first game.
Yeah.
And it's not like Dwight Howard's had a bad 2 weeks.
Dwight Howard's been playing
very well.
His Dwight Howard self. Yeah,
honestly, if I'm Dwight Howard, I ask to be put on LaMarcus Aldridge next game. I ask to guard him.
He needs to leave the paint, which is going to be tough for the
Rockets. I guard LaMarcus Aldridge, and I say if I lose, and I'm guarding him, that's fine, but I'm not going to let the series be lost if I'm not guarding the best big man. But that's my biggest surprise. Lillard's been monster. You even got guys like Batum, Robin Lopez, who thought were playing very well, and it's just been very well for that team.
Yeah, I do think the Trailblazers are great. It's a really big surprise, but in the end, I've always thought Marcus Aldridge is the best big man in the game, and Damian Lillard is a stud. I will say that as well. They got a great starting lineup. Robin Lopez is such an underrated big man defender, even though Dwight Howard dominated him at the start of the last game. He's still a great underrated big man defender. You also got Wes Matthews, Nicholas Batum. They got a great team.
Not a good bench. And that's what starters have to score so many points.
That is one of their downfalls. That's why I don't think they win a championship. But I do think that the Trailblazers is a great story. But what is surprising to me is your Oklahoma City Thunder. Kevin Durant, you're the MVP. Come on now. You're supposed to be leading them. I thought you were going to win in 5. Now you're going to probably have to win in 7. Come on now, Kevin Durant. You got Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, 2 top 10 players in the league. Number 2, probably number 8. I don't know. That's just off the top of my head. But when I'm looking at it, you're throwing haymakers at the Grizzlies. You're coming back down 17 in the fourth quarter, and you're coming back and you still lose that game? How can you lose that game when you were down 7? You just broke. If any other team, that would probably break their spirit. But these Grizzlies, I'll tell you what, they're resilient. They're getting haymakers thrown at them. They're getting knocked down. They're getting right back up and standing.
Grit and grind.
Exactly. They're grinding out things. Tony Allen is a tenacious defender. He's doing great on Kevin Durant right now. Kevin Durant's not playing like the
shooting under 36% with Tony Allen's guarding.
That's not Kevin Durant. Like Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph, one of the best duos in the front court in the NBA. And I'm just thinking that the Grizzlies, I don't think they're going to win, but they have a pretty good chance. I mean, I think it's 7 games. Thunder will win and get 7 games, but like Thunder need to be careful.
I need to wake up. That's what needs to happen.
Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, y'all need to step up. Scott Brooks need to do a better coaching job. I think his team needs to do that.
I mean, I was at the first game, and they dominated. They won by 14 points, and I was extremely happy. I was like, okay,
here we go.
We're gonna beat these guys in 5 games.
Exactly.
And then they just pulled some crap the last 2 games.
Yeah, but that's the biggest story to me. I want to get your predictions. How do you think the West is going to turn out? Semifinals, finals?
Been saying it all year. I don't care what happens in this. I mean, as long as they don't lose series, it's not going to affect anything. Thunder will win, and I don't care if it takes 6. I don't care if it takes 7. They'll go against Clippers. That'll probably be a 6 or 7 game series. Then they'll go against the Spurs, which will probably be their toughest matchup because Popovich is such a good coach. They will not lose. I just don't think Kevin Durant is willing to lose after what happened last year and what happened in 2012. They just wanted. Kevin Durant just wants it more than anyone else. That's why he's winning the MVP this year. Russell Westbrook is the key in this scenario. He is, like you said, probably a top 10 player, probably a top. I would probably say he's the second or third best point guard in the game. He is the key. I just think in order for them to win, there's a big stat going around. If Russell Westbrook shoots over 24 shots, they're like 11-16 in the playoffs, and he shoots under, it's like 16-4. So I don't understand why Russell Westbrook just doesn't look at those stats, shoots the ball maybe 15 or 16 times, and tries to get 11 or 12 assists. I mean, that's not that hard. You see guys all across that. So I don't know why he didn't take the Chris Paul role and just score 20-something points and average 12 assists. That's all you have to do.
Because he has the alpha dog mentality.
He does.
He's not a point guard.
But
he's a shooting guard that can play point guard pretty damn well.
I love what he did last night when Kevin Durant was struggling. I think he was a little passive. I was kind of like, he had 2 turnovers in that game last night where he was trying to get Kevin Durant the ball and he just tried too hard. At times I get mad when he takes shots over Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was struggling last night. If I'm Russell Westbrook, I know you hear analysts all the time telling him go back and forth, blah blah blah, don't shoot, give the ball to Kevin Durant, and last thing, Kevin Durant was terrible last night. You saw the end of the shot game. It was tie game at the end of the fourth quarter. Kevin Durant throws up an air ball. If I'm Russell Westbrook, I'd take control of that game last night with that 4-point play. Just didn't play well. The Thunder come out of the Western Conference. I don't care if it takes 21 games for the 3 series. They're coming out of the Western Conference.
To me, I think the Thunder are going to get in 7. I think the Trailblazers are going to win in 6. I think the Spurs are going to win in 7 because the Mavericks won't back down. Dirk Nowitzki's one of the greatest power forwards of all time. He's not going to back down to the Spurs. And I think that the way the Spurs are playing right now, the way the Mavericks are, I think it's going to be a 7-game series. The Trailblazers, like I said, 6 games. They're Marcus Aldridge's best big man in the game. Honestly, he is. I think they're going to get in 6. I don't know what the heck is wrong with James Harden, but it's too little too late sometimes. He lost 2 games at home. And I will say, yes, very well, that's very true. And then I think the Clippers are going to get it in 6 against the Warriors. So we have the Clippers-Thunder matchup. Blake Griffin.
Big Blake.
I think he should be 3rd in MVP this year in voting.
Right.
I think he will be the key to that series. I think the Clippers are going to get in 7. I think the Clippers are going to upset the Thunder. Yeah, you can laugh all you want. I'm
not laughing. That's not a bad prediction.
I think the Clippers will get it. Doc Rivers will outcoach Scott Brooks when it matters most, and I think that they'll get it done.
Who's the best player in that series, though?
Kevin Durant. I don't care about your stat that the best player in the series always wins. That can be debated. It's usually true, but it's not always true. Blake Griffin, you act like he's such a scrub. You act like Chris Paul. Chris Paul's best point guard in the game.
I said he's the MVP.
Exactly. Chris Paul's best point guard in the game, I think.
Steph Curry. I'd take Steph Curry over Chris Paul any day of the week.
Anyways, as I was saying, I think the Clippers get it in 7. I think the Spurs would beat the Blazers in 6. I think that Popovich and Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and the whole rest of the gang, I think they get it done in 7 games against the Clippers. I think they're going to win the West. So for Tye Richardson, Chandler Carson, this is Intermission.